Hey, good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. How are you? Let me jump and see what's going on. Whoa, Carol is first in the house tonight. Good night, Carol. I see you first in the house tonight. Welcome, my love. Good night. Welcome. And I see Connie Barnes is in the house hanging out tonight. Welcome. Good night, y'all. Good night. Good night. Good night, y'all. My girl Leandra is in here tonight. Leandra, how are you, girl? Good night. Love you, kings and queens. Love you guys all so much. Excited that you guys are able to come in and join the live tonight, join the conversation. Guys, do not hesitate. We are live on YouTube, and we're live on TikTok tonight because our conversation tonight is very interesting, right? Hey, Miss P. Good night, my love. How are you, Queen? Good night. Good night. So our conversations is really good tonight. Had me shared on Clubhouse how to restore myself and my self-worth last week. That's really good, Carol. I'm really proud of you for all the progress that you're making. It looks really good. And I'm very proud that you're making these progress and turning things around and starting to see how the more we do this is the more you become much healthier and you're restoring more and more each day. I'm very proud of you. Keep doing keep doing a good job. Keep doing it. You're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Keep it up. Congratulations, Carol, and coming in to share with us that the things that we're all doing is working. Continue to let it work, right? I love you guys all so much. And I thank you all. I thank you a lot for hanging out with me tonight, for sharing your time with me. And our topic tonight, guys, I'm definitely going to need you guys' participation tonight, okay? I am going to need your participation tonight because our topics, I want to know what some of you guys want warning sign. What were some of the warning signs that you guys saw? So share with me some of the warning signs that you saw in the beginning. Okay? I want to know, I want to know, I want to know. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little intro and we going to jump right into it, y'all. I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm ready too. All right, let me go ahead. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Nessa, and you're here in a community healing your silence. So too long we have been suffering in silence, and we're no longer going to be suffering in silence. We're going to heal that silence. So let's take a moment to recognize and see some of the things that we've been going through, some of the traumas and some of the experience that we have, and we need help with going through this process and getting these healed. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but instead we're going to embrace them, acknowledge them, and see how we can heal from these wounds that have left us broken for such a long time. We do not judge. We welcome you with open arms right here, okay? And my job here is to empower you to become your greatest self. So by doing so, we have a lot more conversations and we go in and we tap in further into unhealed wounds and we dive deep, okay? I'm very excited that you guys took the time to hang out with me tonight. If you're new to this channel, again, welcome. Welcome to Healing Your Silence. You are welcome here, right here. Join us live every Friday night on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us here on the YouTube right here so we can chat and go into more details. Guys, please do not forget to hit the like button. I know a lot of times we come in, the conversations gets nice, it gets hot, gets heated, and we forget to hit the like button, y'all. So please tonight, do not forget to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Miss Pekin 10. Ooh, thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Miss Pekin 10. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome. It's exciting to have you in tonight. And I'm looking forward for us to go in. So, our topic tonight, early warning signs that you knew the relationship was not going to last. Can I get y'all? What was some of y'all warning signs? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. What were some of the warning signs that you saw in the beginning of the relationship and you knew it wasn't going to work, but you went against that feeling? Because when you look at certain things that's happening in the relationship or in the beginning of the relationship, you would start to see that it don't sit well with you. You probably have a feeling in your stomach and you don't feel good about it, but you choose to stay in the relationship anyway. So what was that feeling? What were some of those warning signs that you ignored in the beginning that came now to see that the relationship did not work or it didn't work and the warning signs was right there in the beginning? Go ahead and type your comments in and I'll definitely read them and see what the comments are. Thank you so much, Marcy. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad that you guys are here. Absolutely. So let me put up this comment right here and read it. And this comment is coming from Pekin Tan. It says, when he would become upset when it wasn't convenient for me to come around. So you wanted to be around him, you want to spend time with him, and because it wasn't convenient for him or for you to be around him, he got upset. So he didn't get his way and he got mad. So that was some of the warning sign that you ignore in the beginning of the relationship. So he's not able to control his emotions or his anger. When you had to do other things that made him upset, he was very demanding a lot of times. So when a man is very demanding and not respecting of you, he's clearly telling you he does not respect you. He's clearly letting you know he doesn't value you and he does not respect you. Because if your time is not important and it doesn't matter to him, then he clearly does not respect you. And he's demanding. But you see, the men only get away with the things that we allow them to get away with, if you really think about it. Because your time is valuable. And if he doesn't value your time or see your time as being valuable, he's already telling you that's the start of disrespect. That's the start of you bending your rules and you're bending your boundaries and your standards in order to please this man. So you're already negotiating. That's a big no-no. That's a big red flag. That's a big no-no. You do not start off in a relationship with negotiating your standards and negotiating you. You don't know this person as yet. This is a very new relationship, very new, and you're just in your hello beginning phase, right? So if you're in your early stages of the relationship, why are we negotiating so soon? Why are we compromising so soon? Like for what? Why? We just started. It's an opportunity for both people to get to know each other. It's an opportunity for both people to see what are some of the characteristics of each person and to see their traits. You need to learn traits from a person in order to be able to see if this person is compatible for me or not. Demanding, that's a bit strong and aggressive. Getting upset, so you're throwing tantrums, temper tantrums because you don't get your own way. Already telling you that he doesn't value you and he doesn't respect you. That's all he's telling you when he gets upset when he doesn't get his way. And another comment here comes from Leandra. She says gaslighting started small and then it became bigger. That is facts. The gaslighting will start small because they start to do things and they start to tell you little things to blow your head up, to make you question your reality. And it starts so small. And you know, one of the things that I recognize too as an early warning sign is when they overpraise you. Have you guys ever had that experience? Have you guys ever had that experience where they're overpraising you? Like for some reason, you're the best, you're the most, you're everything they've wanted, everything they're looking for, everything they desire. And they've been searching high and low just to find you. Yeah. Listen, it takes time for you to get to know someone. They can't just meet you and think that they know everything about you and you're just the one they've been searching for. You're just that person that they've been looking for. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it goes. It takes time to get to know someone. Even if you recognize some things in a person that looks good, you still have to be cautious. You have to approach with caution. So pay attention and look for consistency, guys. Look for consistency. It is so important for you to see how consistent someone shows up for you, or better yet, building trust. What does that look like? Building trust. When someone says they're going to do something, they keep their word. If someone says they're going to do something, they keep their word. That's how you build trust. It's not hard to do so. Because remember, each time you get a disappointment, that counts as a negative. And a negative start moving towards a subtraction. So you're not adding, you're subtracting from that relationship. So if someone is not keeping their word, as simple as just following through, and guess what? Things happen at times. So especially if you guys plan a date or you plan to go out somewhere, listen, it's simple. These things are small, simple adjustments and small, simple tips that will help you to recognize these early warning signs that we tend to ignore, but it turns out that the relationship was not going to last because we ignored these things, okay? So let's just take this as an example. You guys make date arrangements to go out on a date, as simple as just going out on a date. And this person knows they're not going to go out on the date with you and they're canceling the date. But they never said anything to you. They never gave you that courtesy of letting you know that they're not going to go out on a date with you, or plans or something change. That is very disrespectful by itself. That's very inappropriate. That person does not respect you, or do they respect your time? They do not value you. And they're making it clear, but they're going to see how you handle the situation. So if you ignore it, if you don't say nothing about it, if you turn a blind eye to it, you're co-signing it. You're saying that this is okay. You're okay with this. That's what you're doing. But if plans change, because things do come up, because we're all humans and things do happen. So if something came up, the least they could do is reach out to you and let you know that something came up. I'm not going to be able to make this date. We're going to have to reschedule and do this at another time, at a later date or something, and make plans for a later date. There's nothing wrong with that. People are allowed to do whatever works for them. But if you're starting a brand new relationship and you guys are building something, you want to build it on a healthy and a strong foundation. You want to build trust. And trust is as simple as keeping your word. If you say you're going to do something, follow through with it. It's not that hard. But when a person does not respect you or they don't value you, that's when they don't communicate with you. They ghost you because they don't have proper communication style. So they don't know how to manage their emotions. So they manipulate you and they ghost you. They disappear, nowhere in sight. That's something for you guys to pay very close attention. They cancel the date. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But give you that courtesy, though, of letting you know that something came up and they have to make different arrangements. So I'm going to read this other comment that came in from Pekin Tan. It says, seeing how someone responds to disappointment or not getting their way is, listen, you hit it spot on. The way how someone responds to disappointments, the way how they respond when they don't get their way is very important. If you need to cancel something for whatever reason, do so. Go ahead. You're entitled to do that. But pay attention to see how the other person responds to it, because their behavior is going to tell you how they handle situations later on. And you need to know how they handle situations, because if you're planning a relationship and a future with this person, you need to understand how they handle their emotions. Because what if it's just a simple thing as you just canceling a date, or you just not being able to show up when you said you, whatever it might be, and they don't handle their emotions properly? That's a sign that you are walking into something that could be very detrimental for you later on. And you need to pay close attention to these small warning signs because they're very visible in the beginning of the relationship. They don't just magically appear, guys. It's oftentimes we turn a blind eye to them, but they don't just magically appear. A lot of times, the first thing we want to say, oh, it's not that bad. You don't know this person. So you can't determine if it's that bad or not, but instead pay attention to what it is. What it is. And if you even think about your own, if you have children, for those of you who have children, and you tell your child or your children no, they're responding because they're upset. But the fact is, it's still no. But think about it. It's the same way how they throw a tantrum and carry on. You have to correct that behavior with your child. You have to correct that behavior because if not, later on, this child is going to give you a run for your money later on. No means no. And it's okay to say no. It's okay. It's a word. Not a lot of people like to hear it, but you need to exercise it and say no. It's okay. Think about being on a job. If you're not getting that promotion, if you go and you put in all the work that you have to do for this promotion, and the boss says, no, you're not getting the promotion, you're going to throw a tantrum. I quit. I don't want this job no more. When you know in the back of your head, your bills got to get paid, everything got to get done, and you are dependent on this job to take care of your family, you're just going to throw a tantrum in front of your boss? Or would you sit and have a conversation with the boss and maybe say something to the effect like, I was really dependent on this. I put in extra time. I work hard, whatever. Can you give me some feedback on some areas that you think I need to improve upon so that the next time something comes around, I could be more prepared for this position? Isn't that like a better answer or something to say in response? It's no different. Oftentimes, we give people that we're interested in too many leeways. We cut too many slacks with them and give them a pass because we think that we can't do without them. And we're so dependent on them that you lose yourself, you lose your standards, and now you are becoming a codependent person and you are dependent on that person to validate you. No, that's not how it goes. It's okay to have healthy conversations. It's okay to go back and forth and have conversation between you and the individual. There's nothing wrong with that. You are not losing anything. You don't know this person and they don't know you. But you guys are getting to know each other. And in order to get to know each other, you're going to have some hard conversations. And it's important when you have these hard conversations, how are they responding to these conversations? How are they responding to the conversations? That's what's important. You need to pay attention to these things. See what they're doing, how they're handling it. Because and think about it, if you apply some of these techniques, it will help you. It will save you a lot of heartache because you think about it. When you are dealing with your boss, your approach is different. It's respectful, right? And you're looking to get that respect back. Now it's the same thing in a relationship. You're looking for that same respect back just the same. So if you're given respect and someone is giving you disrespect, that's not a balanced relationship. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not something you need to proceed. If you feel that you want to give it a try, make sure you're having these hard conversations. It's very important because these are difficult things that you don't think to bring up in a conversation. And a lot of times we bypass things and we give them too many chances. And it's men and women. This is not a female conversation or anything. This goes both ways. Too many times we overlook things and we bypass things because what? This is your last chance? You're desperate? Is that what it is? So you're thirsty or you're desperate and you think that you can't find nobody else that's going to love you and respect you and treat you like the person that you're supposed to be treated, how you're supposed to be treated? If you don't value yourself and if you don't respect yourself, no one else is going to do it for you. So while you're going through your season of being alone right now, where you're going through this stage, you're not lonely. You're getting to know yourself. You're getting to date yourself. You're getting to understand and to learn who you are again as a person. So it's a great time for you to go through some hobbies, some interests, some things that you like, so that when you do start a relationship and you do start to date someone, you can bring your healthy self to that relationship. Everything takes time, and it starts with you. It starts with you. It does take time to build something healthy, and it's going to take a lot of time. I'm going to go ahead and see some of the comments and stuff that you guys have here. Let me see. And guys on TikTok, I love you guys so much. It's the same name, Healing Your Silence. You guys can join the conversation over on YouTube and be a part of it, because we're typing in the chat and I'm pulling up the questions in the comments and stuff like that. So guys, feel free if you want to come over on the YouTube channel and join it over here on the live. I see this one says, from Pekin Tan, it says, our whole relationship with the narcissist was made possible by us forgiving all of their offensiveness, disrespect towards us all of the time, not the other way around. Exactly. When you're dating a narcissist, you're the one forgiving them for the things that they're doing to you. But they're not forgiving you for what you did. They hold you accountable. Now, they make sure they hold you accountable for the things that you do. But you can't hold them accountable. You can't give them no standards. You can't give them no accountability. What accountability for who? They're not going to accept that. Uh-uh. A narcissist would not take boundaries. They would not take accountabilities. That's their kryptonite. That's nope. They would not. No, no, no. By the time you find out, you're the one apologizing to them. You're the one who's telling them that you're sorry for what they did to you. Okay? So guys, listen. Don't be embarrassed while you're going through your single time, okay? Don't be embarrassed while you're going through your single time. Because whatever your experience, let me tell you something. You could be the total package, y'all. You can be, and I heard this, when I heard this, I'm telling you, I was just like, what? You can be the total package and end up at the wrong address. What? So, wait, that one took me back, way back. Because you think you're the total package, right? And you're supposed to be, and everything is, and you're setting all this expectation because you deserving of this. But you could be the whole package, y'all, and end up at the wrong address. So don't even think for a second that the narcissist is looking to give you some compassion or have some mercy on you or anything. That's not going to happen at all. Not even for a second. Their plans is to make sure they emotionally abuse you. That's their plan. Another red flag, guys, to look out for in the early beginning stages. If you meet someone and they're in a relationship, okay? You meet someone and they're in a relationship and they start to complain about that relationship and they start to tell you everything wrong about that relationship. But mind you, they're with that person. They're still in the relationship. That's a big red flag, guys. That's a big warning sign. If someone is in a relationship, but they're trying to pursue you and they're trying to be with you, that is a red flag. That is a big warning sign. And I'm going to tell you why. This person that's in the relationship, if it's a man, okay, or a woman, they're operating selfish. And if you don't pay attention to what they're doing, you'll get caught up in what's going on because you become that ear to listen. But the moment you start engaging in a conversation with them and start listening to that, you'll become an enabler for them. So they already know that your boundaries are somewhat low because you start to entertain them. Because you're not checking them on their behavior. So you're already entertaining them. So they know it's just a matter of time before they can slip right in with you. So if you don't check that at the door and move away from that situation, you'll be preparing and setting yourself up for another red flag, for a failed relationship. That's a warning sign, guys. Pay attention to it. Pay very close attention. Because let's reason it out and think about it for real, for real, for real. If they're in a relationship with someone and they're unhappy and they're miserable, and this relationship is so bad and things are just not working out for them, and they're in this relationship, but they're in it. They're still there. They're in it. What is that? What is that telling you? Because they're out recruiting while they're in a relationship. So one, there's no space in between them being single. So they never got a chance to be by themselves. They never got a chance to self-reflect. They never got a chance to be by themselves, to learn themselves all over again, to evaluate the things that they did that work and the things that they did that did not work, to make changes to what they're doing. They did not take time to be by themselves, to see and to get to know themselves all over again. So there's no space in between. So this is someone who is emotionally manipulating you, the new supply, the new person, and the person that they're with. So this is an emotionally abusive relationship already. So pay attention to these warning signs. They look pretty simple, but pay attention to these warning signs. Because if they're so unhappy, why don't they leave? Leave. If it's not working out for you, it's not healthy for you. How can this person who is in a relationship that is currently toxic be recruiting you and pursuing you on the other end? How are they gonna, when? How are they planning to leave this other person to come to you? And don't you think at some point they're gonna leave you to go to someone else? Because this is a pattern. This is now a pattern that they're showing you, that they cannot be alone. They can't be by themselves. They have to be with someone at all times. And if they're with someone and they're out looking and seeking for someone else, they're never satisfied. So they're already telling you a lot of things. They're already telling you who they are. But because your standards are not where they're supposed to be, you're operating from a place of desperation. You're accepting this. You don't accept that. They need to go sort out what they have going on. And if later on, if you're still single and they're single, and if you guys want to, if you guys decide to date, then whatever, do you? You're grown. But let's be honest. You're in a relationship at home, and you're out here recruiting and texting inappropriate things and trying to build something with someone else, and you have a significant other at home. So you have someone at home, but you're out recruiting someone else. Make it make sense. Just make it make sense, because there's no gap. There's no time alone. Look at you. You spend time to work on yourself. You spend time to get to know yourself. You spend time to get to know who you are as a person and to really heal your wounds, your trauma, your brokenness. Why would you want to throw that all away for someone who is just playing hopping? They're hopping, hopscotching. They're just moving from one box to the next, from one person to the next. If you're in a relationship that is unhealthy and is not working out for you, take some time. Have a talk with your partner. Get the help necessary. Get the counseling, get the therapy, get whatever you need to get it. Do the work necessary and work on what you have going on. If it's just not working, leave it alone. But these are some of the things that we ignored in the beginning. These are some of the things that we did not pay attention to in the beginning. Because there's people where you can accept the person for who they are. You can work together with the person. So there's two people. One, you can accept them for who they are. Two, you could work with this person. Or three, you could change this person. Pick one. Because if you're trying to change the person, then you already know that they're not compatible for you. You already know that their traits does not align with you. So you're trying to reinvent them and recreate them to be who you want them to be. So you're already going in wrong. You already going in this thing backwards because you're already trying to change this person. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. So when you recognize some of these characteristics from this person, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it at all. These are some of the things that you need to pay attention to, because if you're unhappy in a relationship, then you need to leave it. You need to leave it. Pekin Tan says, it's funny you said that. Now that I remember, there was a girl that had called late night in the beginning of the relationship when he was talking and talking about she's crazy. You see? That's what they do. They always, oh, it's nothing to worry about. Oh, that person's just crazy. They're this, they're that. Then why do you have a crazy person calling your phone? Why are you in contact with a crazy person? But we're not asking these questions, right? Because we just accept what they tell us. We're not asking these questions. Would you keep crazy people around you for what? What? Why? What do you guys have in common? What are you guys going to pick up the phone and talk about? How do you guys maintain this friendship? If there's a crazy person hanging around your life, why would you keep them around? How are they adding value to your life on a daily basis? So if they're telling you that, oh, that person's just crazy, so why do you have them hanging around? For what? What is the benefit from them? How do they help you? How do they add value to your life? We're not asking these questions because we feel like we're at the end of the rope. We feel like there's no one else. We feel like that this is our last hope. So we hang on to it and we accept the little things and we don't challenge them. We don't ask the questions because we're operating from a place of desperation. Stop being desperate. Stop looking desperate. Let a man pursue you. Let a woman respect you. Stop operating desperate. Value yourself more so you can stand firm. You can stand firm on your beliefs. And that's some of the things that you guys need to talk about is the belief system. What are some of the things that you guys value? So ask these questions to see if your values align. What are their future plans? What is the family plans? In case of an event, in case of an accident, in case of certain things, what is their backup plan? What is their future plans? What is their plans for their children? What is their life goal? What is their life plans? What are your life plans? What are your goals? In the event of XYZ, what is your plan? If you're not planning for what you want to do later or setting up goals and putting things in place, then you really don't have a plan. You don't have a structure. So you'll accept anything that comes your way. Think about it. If we're not preparing, it's just like going to college, y'all. It's just like going to college. You want to become, let's say, a doctor. Just an example. You say you want to become a doctor and you start going to school. Now there's certain courses, there's certain classes, there's certain practicals that you have to do in order to get your degree. Now, are you not going to study? Are you not going to get your textbook? Are you not going to get these things and put these things in place and practice and study and rehearse and do what you have to do? So if you want to become a doctor, you're going to do research. You're going to do homework. You're going to educate yourself on stuff. You're going to watch videos. You're going to now start changing your circle, your environment to start being around doctors or people who have done this before so that you can learn from them. So you start to change your environment. You start to change the type of people that you engage with because you want to become a doctor. So you start making preparations and you prepare yourself for what you want to become. It's no different in a relationship. You have to make preparation. You have to do the legwork. Make preparation for what you want. Prepare yourself. What are your goals? What are your values? What are your family values? Do you want to have children? Does the other person want to have more children or more children? These are some of the conversations that both of you guys need to have. These are some of the conversations that are healthy to have these conversations. Also, what are some of the life insurance plans? Are you guys discussing these things? Are you guys discussing life insurance, health insurance, benefits? It's just like a will. We don't prepare for a will because you think if you prepare for a will, you're going to die. That's promise. We're promised death. Like that's a guarantee. But why not make preparation for for the next generation? Make preparation. It's the same thing walking into a relationship. Have your standards, know your value, know some of the things that are non-negotiable, and do not negotiate your non-negotiables. If it's something that you know you cannot live with, it's something that it's not going to work. If it's not working now, it's not going to work later. It only reappear itself, because then you're going to put other things on top of it in order to dumb down it. But in reality, it's going to manifest. It's going to show back up later because it's something that is your non-negotiable. Yes, like Leandra says here, becoming the better version of yourself. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Exactly. Why would you end up with a crazy person, Pecan? Hey, Tuala. I know, girl, you are just right on time, girl. Do not worry about it. You are just right on time, right? And my thing is, right? Why wouldn't you want to change the style, the type of people that you engage with? Why wouldn't you want to change the style of people? So if you've been constantly with toxic people, right? Toxic men or toxic women, why wouldn't you want to make a change? Change the type of people that you're around. Change your type. If your type has always been toxic, change your type so you can attract somebody that's not toxic, because you're going to be working on yourself. So while you're going through your single stage, get to know yourself all over again. Get to embrace your positivity, okay? Get to know who you are. Because if we go back to that person who's in a relationship with someone else, but is pursuing you and is telling you all the great things about you and how much you're exactly what they've been looking for, and the relationship that they're in right now is driving them insane. They're unhappy, they're miserable in this relationship, and they want to be with you. What does it say in the scripture? I believe it's in James 4 or 7. What does it say in James 4 or 7? It says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I didn't say it. They said what they said, okay? They said what they said. I didn't make it up. It wasn't me. A double-minded man is unstable in not some of his ways, not a few of his ways, but in all his ways. Because there's no way they can try to be pursuing a relationship with you. And what do they go home to tell their partner at home? What are the names that they're James 4 and 7? Thank you, my love, Pekin. What do they go home and tell their significant other? They go home and they have an argument with them at home. So sometimes you're wondering why there's an argument in the household. What's going on? Listen, why do you think that is? And you might be the one that they're coming home and arguing with you. You might be the one that they're throwing a tantrum with at home. They're disrespecting you. They're calling you out your name, and they're doing things to you. So you listen, you might be on either side of the spectrum. Pay attention to the warning signs, because they are there. Times when they're out here doing these things to you is because they're in pursuit of someone else. They have to create a tantrum with you in order to go do their pursuits. Or you might get disrespected in order for them to go out and play their games. And when you try to make peace with them to talk about it, because they create an argument for no reason, and you try to make peace with them about this thing, what they'll do is ignore you and walk out, dress up and leave the house and go away, because they need space and time to process it. No, that's not what they're doing. They're in pursuits. They're in pursuits. That's what they're doing. But you're not paying attention to these things. You're not paying attention because you're all thinking that you're doing something wrong. What are you doing wrong? How can you fix this? It takes two people to fix it. It takes two people to make it work. You can't be the only one trying to make it work. It's not lopsided. It's not a one-sided relationship. It needs balance. Guys, I know you're enjoying this conversation. Please hit the like button, guys. Go ahead, take a second and just hit that like button so we could keep the likes going, so this content can go out to other people and we could share this information. Please, guys, go ahead. Please take a second. Just one quick second and smack that like button, y'all. Please go ahead, hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. What are they doing? Somebody's in pursuit of something. Somebody's being pursued because you guys can't sit down and talk about anything. And that's what's important in the beginning of your relationship. You want to know, what is this person's communication style? When there's a conflict, how do they handle the situation? Because if in these stages they ghost you, they're not talking to you, they're not having these conversations now, what would make you think later on they're going to have a conversation with you? It's the same thing. It only gets worse because now they're storming off. Now they've mastered you and they know that you're talking, you're a bunch of talk. And you're not going to do anything. You're not really going to go anywhere, and you're just going to keep talking. If you keep asking a man to change his ways, to meet you halfway, if you keep asking a lady to value you, to respect you, to stop talking to you like you're a little boy, if you keep asking your partners to do these things over and over, let me be the first to tell you, you are now begging. Yeah, it don't even look good anymore. You're begging. You're begging them to respect you. You are begging them, please love me. You are begging them to appreciate you, to value you, to validate you. But remember, it starts with you. That's why that single stage, it's not for you to be embarrassed about the single stages. It's not to be embarrassed about the times that you're being alone and the time that you're spending alone by yourself. There is nothing wrong with being by yourself. There's nothing wrong with providing for yourself. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. It's even more beautiful when you take care of yourself, because then a man will see that you're already taking care of yourself. Now he's going to come in to see how can he now take care of you on top of what you're doing for yourself already. So you shouldn't be a crutch to him. You shouldn't be a crutch to her. You should already be doing things for yourself. So when the other person comes into your life, that's extra. That's an additional onto what you're already doing. So now it doesn't become burdensome to anyone. Enjoy your single season because it's going to help you to rebuild yourself. It's going to help you to become stronger. It's going to help you to become better because now you get to know who you are. Now you get to have a relationship with yourself. Now you get to be one with who you are. So you know your likes and your dislikes. So someone will not keep pressing up against your boundaries after you've expressed them. When you express your boundaries and where they stand and someone keep pressing up against them and pushing and poking at your boundaries, they don't respect you. It's just clear. There's no if, there's no buts, there's no ands, there's no maybe. They don't respect you. Because the person that respects you, the first time you told them, I don't like such and such, they won't do it. If you tell them you don't like a particular thing and they keep doing it, they're disrespecting you. They do not respect you, they do not value you, and they're telling you to your face they don't value you. I'm not making this up, y'all. These were some of the warning signs that happened in the beginning, that and you knew the relationship was not going to last. These were some of the clear warning signs because your boundaries were violated. But you turn a blind eye to it and said it's not that bad. It's okay. But these are some of the things that where they end up. They end up in violent breakups. They end up in divorces. They end up in a lot of disrespect, a lot of hurt, and a lot of people's lives are lost. They end up there because you say it's not that serious. It's not that serious. He didn't really mean it. She didn't really mean it to slap me in my face in front of my friends. Oh, she was just playing. I don't think so. That's disrespectful. That's inappropriate. And if you truly believe in your heart, right? If you truly believe in your heart that there's someone else out there for you and there's better out there and there's good out there, why are you so angry and why are you so upset when relationships end? Why are you so upset when a relationship ends? Why are you so angry? Why are you so violent? Why are you so hostile when a relationship ends if you truly believe there's someone else good out there for you? Make it make sense, because I'm still waiting for that part to make sense. Still waiting. Liz, your single season is for learning. That's your powerful season, guys. That's your power. Yes, Tawala, that's your powerful season. That's your powerful season. When you are in that time, that's the time where you're making yourself happy. That's the time where you're making yourself happy during your single season, because you should not be codependent. You should not be dependent on someone else to make you happy. You should be making yourself happy. You should be doing things that you enjoy doing to make yourself happy. And it's just the same as if, okay, now you meet someone and all of a sudden they like playing golf, right? All of a sudden you start buying golf equipment, you start watching it on the TV, you start doing everything for this other person. You are now recreating yourself for this person. You were never someone who goes to church, right? But because you met a pastor, here you go. Every day you run into church. Every day you're doing this. You're just trying to impress that person, because it's not what you truly want to do, but you're trying to become someone else for them. You're trying to become someone to impress them. And it's going to backfire on you later, because it's not your genuine, authentic self. Get to know you in your single stages. Get to know you in your time right now, so you can now do something for yourself, especially date. Go out on dates. Take yourself out on dates from time to time. When you meet someone and they ask you, what are some of the things that you like? What are some of the places that you like to go? You are not going to have the answers for them. You're not going to be able to tell them what are some of your interests? What are some of the things that you like? What are some of your dislikes? You're not going to be able to tell them these things, because you don't know. You have not gotten the chance to get to know who you are. You don't know. You have lost your identity. Because every time you meet someone, you throw yourself at them. Do not give away your power. Don't give anyone the power to be able to make you happy or make you sad. No one should have that power to make you happy or make you sad. You are the only one who controls that power. You are the one that determines if you're happy or not. Don't give that power away to anyone to control you. Don't give that power away. But instead, get to know you for you. Be happy because you're truly happy. Be happy because you want to be happy. Be sad because you want to be sad. Do not give no one that power and authority and control over you, because the same way how you give them that control to make you happy or sad, it's the same way they can make you depressed. It's the same way they can make you destructive. They can make you become depressed. They can make you destructive. They can make you they control you, because they already got that emotional manipulation over you. They have emotionally manipulated you and now have the weapon, and they now control you. Do not give away your power. Do not give away control over you. You are in control of who you are. You are in control of your destination. Don't give away your power like that. Don't give it away. Learn these things from them. They need to manage their emotions. They need to manage how they handle. And for you, this is one of the greatest things you could do for yourself. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips really quickly of some of the greatest things you could do for yourself in your single season. You can learn how to emotionally respond to things in a mature way. That's something to learn in your single stages. Learn how to handle your emotions in a more effective way. Learn how to respond. Okay. And if you can learn how to compromise during your single stages, you know how to compromise with yourself. You know what to do and what not to do. You're learning how to compromise. That's very healthy, because you'll be able to know how to compromise in a relationship. So these things, do them during your single time. Do them during this time. Learn how to communicate effectively. When you learn how to communicate effectively in a single stage, like Miss P just said here, right? Being single is a gift. It's a beautiful thing. You are learning and rediscovering yourself. You are getting to know who you are all over again. It's a beautiful thing. You now know how to manage your emotions. You now can regulate your emotions. You can manage your emotions. So you don't go into any relationship with brokenness, with baggage, with pain. People think baggage means children. That's not baggage. Baggage is the brokenness that gets carried into the relationship. That's what the baggage is. The unhealed wounds, the brokenness, that's what gets carried into a relationship as the baggage. These are some of the warning signs as well that we need to pay attention to. Learn how to love yourself in your single stages. Learn how to love yourself in your single stages. It's healthy when two people in their wholesome self, when you become whole and one with yourself, there's nothing more healthier than two whole people bringing their whole self into a relationship. You bring your independency, your likes, your activities, the thing. Don't throw away your girlfriends. Don't throw away your male. Don't throw away your friends because you got a relationship. Be independent. You need to be your independent person, and they need to become their independent person. Both of you guys come together to make one. That's healthy. That's very healthy. Do not lose yourself and start cutting people off because you're now doing this for a relationship. That's not how it works. There's different ways how to compromise, and that's why it's healthy for you to learn how to compromise in your single stages. Learn how to compromise during your single time. Learn effective communication styles. Get your message across, get your point across effectively. You don't have to get loud with someone. You don't have to get emotionally and can't get your words out and you're fumbling on your words and you can't get it out. Learn to speak effectively. Be clear in the things that you like and the things that you don't like. Be very clear in your delivery. Be very straightforward. Be very upfront with someone. Do not lead people on that you are not interested in. If this is someone where their values does not align with yours, it's a hard no. It's a hard no. It's just, that's it. Because you're going to live to regret it later on. It's going to come back to haunt you later on. And a lot of times, what happens in relationship is that it will start off okay, but then when one person bring their brokenness into the relationship, the second person has their brokenness in the relationship. Now, both people have their brokenness into the relationship. And if this stays in the relationship for a long time and it keeps going on and it does not get addressed, that's when it really becomes a problem because you've invited this brokenness into the relationship. You didn't take the time to heal. That's why the healing process, the healing phase is very important, that you take time to heal. Take time to go through the single season. Take time to get to know yourself all over again. Go through this phase. Go through this time and get to know who you are all over again. It's very important. It's going to help you later on. Take care of your brokenness. Take care of that part of you so that it does not become a weapon. Hear me? Take care of it so it doesn't become a weapon and used to manipulate you, to control you, and to abuse you like it was happening before. I don't know if y'all heard that. Okay? Those unhealed wounds, those traumas, those experiences that you've had that have gone unhealed and unattended for so long, you do not need to bring that into a new healthy relationship. Take some time to work on these things for yourself. Do not bring these things into a new relationship because you are bringing your pain, your past into the relationship. Everyone has a past. But if you're going to bring your past into the relationship, thinking that this other person is supposed to be understanding, they don't have to be. They don't. That's why it's important for you to heal. Because a lot of times when you talk to people about things, you're expecting a certain kind of reaction from them. You cannot expect people to respond to things the way how you would respond to things because they're not you. They're not you, so they can't respond to things the way you think they're supposed to do it. That's why it's important that you heal your trauma. You deal with the things this way. If you want to share it with your partner, you share it so they could get to know you. If see how optional that becomes? It's like, you could share it if you want. You could talk about it if you want to, but it doesn't make or break you. And that's what you need to do. Become you during your single time. Get the help you need. Get the coaching. Get the this. Get the that. Get through whatever you need to get through so that it can help you to strengthen you, to make you more confident. So when you go into your new relationship and you step out into something else, it is more healthy for both people in the relationship. You're not just doing it for you. You're doing it because you want to attract the healthier part of you, the best version of yourself. Work on you. Work on you so you're stronger. Your strength will show. You don't have to speak to show your confidence. You don't have to be loud because confident is silent, but insecurity is loud. When you're confident, you could be very silent about it. You don't have to brag about it. You don't have to show it off. It speaks for itself. But insecurities, on the other hand, that's loud. It makes a lot of noise. You ever hear them say an empty barrel makes the most noise? Insecurities. And most times we don't face these insecurities, we don't deal with them. But instead, we project them onto people to manipulate them, to control them. That's not how it goes. You spend time to get to know you all over again in your single time. That's the most precious time, Miss Pisa. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a precious gift. Get to listen, unpack that gift. Take your time and unpack it. Take off the wrapping paper first before you get to the gift. Do it in stages. It's like an onion, right? Peel back the layers. Do it one at a time. Don't take off too much than what you can handle or what you can manage. Take it in layers, strides. Take your time, one at a time, and peel back that layer. The better you work on yourself, the more healthy you become, is the more you'll be better in your relationship. The more of a healthy person you will become in your relationship. But it starts with you. It starts with you doing the work. It starts with you taking accountability for your actions. It starts with you respecting yourself, valuing yourself, and putting yourself first. It starts with you. Don't be ashamed of your single season. Don't be ashamed of being alone. It's a valuable time. It's a precious time. It's a time for you to get to know a lot of things about yourself. Do not be ashamed of this time, y'all. Don't be ashamed. Your girl's been talking for a little minute now, right? I appreciate you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys. I enjoy this time, and I know sometimes I do get a bit passionate about the things that I speak, and it's because I've been there. I've been through the abuse. I've been through the torture. I've been through a lot of things. I've been through it, right? But there was a lot of warning signs in the beginning that I didn't pay attention to. I saw them and I ignored them. So now I'm even more passionate now to help to try to save someone else, to try to reach to other people who are going through stuff, who are experiencing stuff. I'm more passionate about doing this because it's personal. It's personal. And it matters to me to see better in other people and for others to not take advantage of them. So no, it's not okay. It's never okay to hurt people. It's never okay to abuse people. It's never okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, my love. Hey, Rico. Good night, sweetheart. Yes, Tawala. Yes. Thank God we made it to the other side. That's important that we made it to the other side, because here we are now being a face of reason for others, being a place, a safe place for people to come and to be able to know that they're not alone in what they're going through and what they've experienced. They're not alone. But it starts with paying attention to the warning signs. It starts by paying attention to the things that we don't think matters. We turn a blind eye to it, even though we get a gut feeling, even though it doesn't seem right, it don't feel right. Like you said earlier in the comment, right? Oh, she's just crazy. She's just crazy. Let me know the last time you had somebody in your phone that keeps calling you as a crazy person and they weren't checked into a mental asylum. Let me know. Because if they're crazy, are you crazy too? Because y'all have something going on. Like, why are they calling you? If they're crazy, why are they calling you? Why aren't they blocked? What relationship you have with this person to begin with? But when you okay that, when you bypass that, the things that the narcissist they be saying to us, we bypass them. But once you okay one thing, they just need you to bend one of your rules. Just bend one of your standards. Just break one of your standards, one of your rules. Just break one. Once they get one, they know they got you. Like, got them. Because if you bought that and you didn't stand up to them, him or her, I'm like, what's this? They already know they got you. They already know they got you. They don't have to do much from there. They don't have to do much from there. I'm just looking to see to make sure I didn't leave out some of my exciting stuff for you guys, right? So to make sure I didn't leave out any of that stuff, right? Well, I do have quite a few things in here, but guys, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The thing that I value the most, one of the things that I value the most is the fact that I'm able to say no. Before, my nose wasn't so strong. They not my nose, but my no wasn't so strong, y'all. And I was not doing it and saying it the way I was supposed to. I wasn't effective in my delivery. That was something I struggled with for a long time. I don't know if you guys could relate to that, or struggling with standing firm or standing your grounds on something, saying what you mean and mean what you say. Your yes is a yes and your no is a no. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, because I struggled with that for some time, and I had to learn and let my yes be yes and my no's be no's. So let me know, guys, like, what are some of the things that you were struggling with when it was time to set boundaries with the narcissist especially in the beginning? What was it like for you? What were some of the things that you struggle with to be able to deliver your message, or even to say, like, what was it? What were some of the things that you struggle with? I'm gonna read this comment in the meantime, from Tawala. She said, I thank God for all of you in this community. For so long, no one understood NARC and what I was going through, right? But I'm in the right place. And you know what? We can all relate to this comment here, Tawala. We can all relate to this comment for the simple reason that we were all going through struggles. And I remember I would have conversations with people, and I felt like no one get it. And then it made me feel like I was crazy. Like, I don't know if this happened to you guys, but I was starting to feel like I was more ashamed. And I stayed longer because I was like, I don't think nobody get it. Like what I was going through. Like I couldn't talk to anyone because all they'll tell you is work on your marriage and try to fix it and try to fix it. And it's just like, what marriage? I'm miserable. I'm more alone than anything else. Like, I remember one night my brother-in-law came to the house, and I pull him aside and I'm like, listen, I would talk to this man, right? And I'm telling him like, why are you hiding your phone from me? Like, simple thing. You're not been married for how long? Like, why are you hiding your phone from me? Like, oh, you don't trust me? Why wouldn't you trust me? And he would make up stories and have conversation. I'm like, listen, my thing is that I'm past that at this point. I'm so past that. I just want to be out. But he's not allowing me to leave. I know I said it all wrong, guys. Nobody can make you stay if you don't want to stay. But you can tell me it didn't sound good then when I said it, okay? He wasn't allowing me to leave. No, I didn't want to leave. I was too comfortable and didn't want to go make a change. but I knew I wasn't okay with it. I knew I wasn't all right with it, but I didn't know how to leave because I'm trying to have a conversation and nothing seems to make sense. It don't make sense to me. It just does not make sense. And the narcissist, of course, is sitting there looking at you like, yeah, I got you right where I want you. That's how they look at us, guys, because we're trying to explain something that doesn't make sense because it's nonsense. How do you make sense out of nonsense? It's just pure nonsense. There's no sense in nonsense. So we're sitting there trying to make sense out of it. And I remember saying to my brother-in-law, I said to him, I said, listen, I'm so lonely, guys. Y'all don't understand. I'm so lonely. I'm married to this man, but I'm so lonely. I'm alone. I said, how is it that I'm married to him? He's not going to a 9 to 5, but he's out on the road for 8, 12 hours. This was one of the biggest issues I had. He's out on the road for 8 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours for the day. He's out on the road. How are you out on the road for this long time for the day? For what? And then you're not even checking in on your family. And I would say things to him like, after an hour or 2 hours, you don't think to check in with your family? Like, I'm home alone with the kids. Like, why don't you call, text, something, check in with me? What if something happened? How would you know? What about the response time? Where are you? But if you call now, it's an attitude, right? It's nasty. So I remember telling my brother-in-law, like, listen, man, I'm tired of this. So alone. This is more lonely. You're more lonely than together when you're with a narcissist, because they suck your soul dry that you have nothing left inside of you. You are depleted. Your soul has been removed from your body. So now you're there empty and alone, and they're out refueling your soul to somebody else. I don't know if y'all could relate. Maybe it was just me going through this madness, but it didn't make sense. I try to make sense of it, but it just didn't make sense, y'all. It didn't make sense. But you're more alone when you're with a narcissist than anything else. You are more alone when you're in a relationship with them. You are by yourself. They're emotionally unavailable. They're not there to support you. They criticize you. They judge you. They belittle you. You are in this relationship alone. There's no affection. There's no compassion. There's no empathy. These things does not exist when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. So when you guys start to make this list while you're in your alone time, while you're in your single season, start to make note of what the type of things that you're not going to negotiate. You're not going to negotiate somebody who's unavailable, emotionally unavailable, someone who's disrespectful, someone who does not value quality time, someone who does not value family time. Whatever is important to you, remember how the narcissist ripped your soul out and left you there alone. Remember that. Remember all that you endure and make sure it's on your non negotiable list. These things should not be up for negotiation, y'all. You endured that pain already. You suffer that pain, and you know exactly what that pain looks like. You should no longer entertain this pain. You should no longer want to be with anybody who shows you these signs in the beginning. And this is what I want us to understand. Pay attention to these warning signs because they're very important. You know what they put you through. You know what you went through. You know what you experienced. So even if they try to make you seem crazy, because now that you understand how they make you feel crazy, that's why they're saying when that other girl was calling in the late midnight that she's crazy. Ring a bell? Does that ring a bell to you? Because now you're the new crazy one. You're the new crazy one. Yes. You have now earned that position now to be the new crazy one because you're calling them out on their crap. They've ghosted you and you're calling them out on their crap. So now when they're with the new supply, you become the crazy person. Pay attention, y'all. They don't change. They're the same person. So whatever they're telling you now is because that's the pattern, y'all. That's the pattern. They're giving you a heads up, but because you're not operating at your best self, in your most confident self, you are turning a blind eye to the signs. When you become so equipped, you can recognize these signs a mile away and you could spot them because you already know this story. But like, this story is familiar. It might be a new cover on the book, but I've read this story already. I know how it ends. I'm good. I'll pass. Next. That's the attitude. That's the attitude because guess what? All they do is resurface, recycle supplies. That's all they do is they recycle supplies. So it's from one supply to the next supply to the next supply to the next. That's all they do is recycle supply. And that's all you are to them is supply. That's all you are to them. You're just a supply. You're nothing else. You don't have You don't have any value to them. You don't have any worth to them. You mean nothing to them. You are disposable. You are disposable. And that's why they dispose you. That's why they treat you the way how they treat you. They do not value quality time. So when you guys starting to make this new list and you start to come up with your non-negotiable, and that's why it's so intimate. It's such a personal time when you're going through your single stages that you do not have distractions from any opposite sex because you need to be able to recognize and relive and experience what you went through in the relationship. What are the things that you did not like in this relationship? What were some of the detrimental phases? What are some of the devastating times that you experienced in that relationship? Write these things down. Pay very good attention to these things and make notes of them because these things are going to help you to generate your non-negotiable lists. It's important because now when people start to bark up on that list, you already know, I know what this looks like. And that's why it's important when you get to know yourself, you can definitely weed out time wasters. You could weed out people who's not there to serve you good. You could weed them out so easily that you'll be surprised to know that you did it. But it's because you've learned you've taken time to get to know who you are as a person. You have taken time to strengthen yourself. You have taken time to become the best version of yourself, and that's important to you. You've taken time to make preparations as if you was going for a degree. You're preparing yourself for what this looks like. You're making preparations because you know the type of healthy relationship you want to have. If you want to be able to cook for your partner, learn how to cook now. Start doing things that you enjoy doing so it doesn't become a job when you're in the relationship, but actually it become a fun activity for you guys to do together. Simple minor changes that you can make to make it better for you to have a stronger foundation. Build the foundation that you want to have for something successful. Don't build a foundation for something that's temporary. Take time. If it's important to you and that other person, take time. Listen, if they're in a rush, that should be a red flag for you. That should be a big warning sign for you if they're in a rush. Because think about it. If it's important to them, wouldn't they want to take their time to get to know you? And the same way how you want to take your time to get to know them, don't you think they want to take their time to get to know you too? They just met you and you're this, oh my goodness, you're everything I've ever wanted. Man, you've never seen me angry. You don't even know if I throw things. You've never seen me in action. How could you know that I'm that one? Emotional manipulation, y'all. Okay? Don't buy into it. It's a hook. All this extra praises, all these praises, Y'all don't buy it, don't buy into it. It takes time. Everything takes time. You're learning a new skill, you're learning a new trade, it takes time. It takes time. Don't let no one rush you. Stay in control of the pace that you want to go. And if they respect your pace, they will go along with your pace and take their time with you just the same. No one should be pushing up against your boundaries. No one. No. And it goes both ways for men and for women. It goes both ways. No one should be pushing up against your boundaries. It doesn't matter who they are. No means no. And that's just it. No means no. If someone respects you and care enough for you, they will value you. They will value how you feel about stuff and how you handle situation. But if they don't value you and they don't care nothing about you, then they won't. Hey everyone, just joining the live. Great to have y'all. We're getting some good teaching from Nessa. Thank you, Miss Pecan. I love you guys too so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much because I remember not having support. I remember not having a community. I remember not having people to talk to. And when I stumbled on some of these videos here, it was a lifesaver. I felt like finally, here I am. I'm going to start getting it together again. And I remember something that was a very mind-blowing turning point for me was in, I think it was October or November of 2020, when I was alone at the house and I was going through my stages where I'm doing my therapeutic sessions and I'm doing all these things and I'm doing the work, all the work, I'm doing it, right? Something happened to me. I was talking to one of my girlfriends on the phone and I was telling her how he would mirror me. Like how I started to mirror him because I started to speak ways that I didn't speak. I used to get aggressive. I used to get angry. I used to use like thought it was cool when I was in these matches with him. I would be in a match with him. He would tell me nasty things, tell me about my mother, disrespecting my mother, and I would find a way to tell him about his mother and to disrespect his mother too. So it was a match. I was going back and forth with him, but guess what? He dragged me into the mud with him. Dr- I don't speak like that. I was telling him all different kind of ways how to go back to his mother and reinvent himself and come back out. Listen, don't push me, okay? Don't push me. Don't push me. Don't. Please don't, okay? But I went there with him. So I became him. I was mirroring him. But guess what? Remember in the beginning when they met you, they started to mirror you. All this love, sweet, charming, nice, all these things. They wanted to mirror you. They wanted to know things about you so they're on their best behaviors. They want to know things about you so they're relaxed, they're calm, they seem so attentive, caring, nurturing. But remember how it's almost like you guys are in sync with each other because they started to mirror you. They're watching you. They're mimicking you and doing things that you're doing. So they're imitating you. This was the shocker for me because I started to make it's listen, I'm gonna repeat it now for the first time. Yeah, I could put a liking emoji, a laughing emoji. You could say, Nessa, you are crazy. Anything. Listen, I'm gonna just tell you how it worked for me and what I said and okay. Said to my girlfriend, wait. So I'm in love with him. I'm in love with this man that I don't know who I am anymore. But I'm so in love with him, but he's mirroring me. So technically, I'm in love with myself. So I am the prize. It's me all along. Y'all can say I'm crazy. You can say whatever. When I did that for me, that was an eye opener for me because I started to think about it. And I'm like, so you're mirroring me. You're mimicking me. You're pretending to love me because you're doing what I'm doing, giving me back me. That's what you're doing. But when your true self come out, that's the monster in you. That's your true self. So when you're doing all of these loving things, these nice things, and you're being nice and you're doing all of these things, you're mimicking me. So I'm the nice person. I'm the loving person. I'm the sweet, kind-hearted person. And you're mimicking me. You're mirroring me. So in reality, it's me. I'm in love with myself. Man, you could tell me I'm crazy. You could say whatever, but that made sense to me. It registered to me and it gave me a whole eye opener. Like, what? So, all this time, I'm chasing myself. I'm in love with myself. So, you tell me now, why is it so hard that I'm not talking about right now, but I was just saying then, like, why was it so hard then not being with the narcissist anymore, but in pain? Why was it so hard? What was that pain? What was that brokenness that you felt so alone? You see that soul that they ripped out of you? Because you were operating at a surface level. So that soul that they took out, every time they would go toe to toe with you and you think you're arguing back with them and you think that you're doing something good with them, arguing back and forth with them, all they're doing is getting supply from you. All they're doing is draining your energy. All they're doing is creating that manipulative bond. All they're doing is creating that addiction. All they're doing is getting you hooked on the toxicness. All they're doing is getting you hooked on having someone to talk with, to hear your voice, to hear yourself. They're just, it's sick, y'all. Guys, it's sick. You hear me? It's sick. So not having people to talk to, not having a community where you could express yourself so freely or talk to coaches that knows what they're talking about and who's been there so they don't judge you and they understand. It's not easy, y'all. It's not. It's sick. And you got to get deep in it. You got to get deep in it to get out. You got to recognize that your life is dependent on this thing. You have to recognize that you need to hold on to your soul for dear life. I might seem a bit dramatic right now, but y'all need to get it. You need to let go of this thing because your life is dependent on it. Man, when I did that and that it made sense to me because all this time, all these goods and stuff like that, I was the one pulling the weight. I was the one bringing this relationship. I was the one doing the good for the relationship. I was the one doing all the healthy things. And I'm not trying to brag. It's not a brag thing, but y'all know what I'm talking about because you guys can relate. You guys can relate, so you know it's not a brag. It's not a brag to be stupid. It's not bragging to be stupid and being taken advantage of and being used and abused and taken it. It's not nothing to brag about. It's to recognize it, accept it, take accountability, and learn how to heal from that, recover, and move on. Man, when I learned these things about myself, when I learned these things that was happening. Good night, Bonnie. Welcome. Welcome, Bonnie. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining our live tonight. I'm hoping that you're finding this information useful, my love. Come on in, enjoy yourself, hang tight. We're family here. Listen, just start typing and start the conversation. Just type away. Just type away and have fun. Guys, So all this negative, you see how they give you their negative? You see how they give you all of this negative energy, this negative attitude, this negative, because that's what's rooted in them. That's what's they're rooted in this thing. That's who they are. That's their identity. So they come and they arguing with you, and you arguing back because you're taking on them. You're taking on their identity. So you're reinventing yourself to become them while they're manipulating you to mirror you. So whenever you think you're having good days and these highs and lows and these emotional roller coaster days, they're just mirroring you and giving you back you. So all of a sudden you think finally they got it. You think finally they're doing something right. Finally, they love you. Finally, they respect you. Somehow, the word finally gets incorporated into this conversation that they're finally getting it now. Remember, they heard you the first time. They heard you the first time. You keep asking them to change, asking them to do things, asking. You are begging. You are begging. You might as well get a sign put up somewhere and start begging, because that's literally what you're doing. And it's not a disrespect. We've all been there. But we need, like I told you on this channel, we rip off the band-aid and we really go in. We go in and we talk about it, because the healing journey and the healing is necessary. Okay? If you need a one-on-one session with me, that's fine. Go ahead, shoot me an email, or I could give you the link, or just send me a text, an email, something if you need a one-on-one session with me. Listen, do not be ashamed of anything. You see listen, we have to rip off this band-aid, y'all, and we have to go in because it's necessary. We are playing with this thing, and your life is dependent on it. Your life is dependent on this thing. Your soul is not up for sale. Your soul is not up for negotiation. And why are you playing with it? Why are you giving this thing over to the narcissist for them to play around with it? For what? You don't want it? Then why are you fighting back? Let it be. Go with the flow. But because we know that not to be true, we have to do what's necessary. We have to rip that band-aid off, and we got to go into the source. We got to see what it is, because when you're going into a new relationship, you want to go into this relationship whole, heal and whole. You'll never be 100% healed, because there's always something evolving, coming up, changing, improvements. Think about it. All these big name brands out here that's selling their products. What is something that you see familiar with these products? What is something that you always see? New and improved. And they never say 100% all the time. They hardly do say 100%, because here they go, 30% more than the original. See that? You see how they do? 30% more volume, 50% more. Lighter, brighter, softer, gentler. There's some improvement. There's no difference with us, y'all. We are always improving, evolving, growing, elevating, healing. It's a lifestyle. When you start looking at it as a lifestyle, then you stop rushing the process. Don't let no one rush your process. Don't let no one rush you. Don't let no one push up against your boundaries. Don't let no one move you faster than you can move. Because that's when you're going to miss it. That's when you'll miss it. And then you live to regret it later. Don't let nobody have that control over your life ever again, because it happened before. Let that be the first and the last, hopefully. Don't let people take control over your life anymore. You got to take back control of your life. And how you do so, you start doing these works necessary. You start putting in these time. You start asking yourself these necessary questions. Where's this relationship taking me? What are some of the benefits to this relationship? What are some of the things that are beneficial to me in this relationship? What are some of the things that is happening in this relationship? Are we going in the same direction? Are our goals in alignment with each other? Are family values in alignment? Is the way how we handle conflicts healthy? Is the way how we communicate, is it effective? How do we handle our emotions? How do we handle being angry? What is our style for doing these things? These are some things that are very important and very necessary to take your time when you start going into a new relationship, because you want to bring the best version of yourself into this relationship. And the other person bring their best version of themselves into this relationship as well. You shouldn't be bound to anyone. You shouldn't become anyone's puppet. You shouldn't become anyone's toy. And don't let no one rush you and tell you when and how you should be doing things. Learn from your previous experience. Learn from the things that you've gone through. Take the lessons and move on. Take the lessons and the experience that you have and learn from them, grow from them. Your value, your worth should not be dependent on someone else. Nothing about you should be dependent on someone else, because that person controls you. That person holds the ticket to your heart. That person can decide if they're going to make you happy, if they're going to make you sad, if today's a depressing day or today's a happy day. Listen, take back control. If you guys did not see a live that I did on my sister Chelly's channel, knows she's one of us, I did a live on her channel about taking back your power. If you guys have not seen it, I think it's the most recent one for Tuesday that just passed. Check it out, guys. Chatting with Chelly. Check out that one. It really goes into a lot of details and break it down how to take back your power, how to get back in control of who you are as a person. Get back in that driver's seat. Too long you've been sitting in the passenger seat, allowing people to decide what gear they're going to drive this car in, how fast they're going to drive the car, when, where, and how they're going to drive the car, which direction they're going with this car, if they want to keep it clean or not, if they want to wash it, if they want to put gas in the car or not. That's what they're doing. Take back control of yourself and get back in that driver's seat. Get back in the driver's seat and determine where you want to go. You make a decision on your destination. You make a decision on where you want to go, and you start your journey. Put one foot in front of the other so you can get to your destination and where you want to go. Don't give that control to anyone. Don't give that power away to anyone. It's you. It was always you. Think about it. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you bringing into that new relationship? Who? Who is that person? What's their identity? Who's going into that new relationship? What is their identity? Who? Let me see one of the comment here again. I enjoy reading you guys' comment. I enjoy it. Sometimes I'll miss it though. Like, please, like, forgive me, y'all. Don't beat me up. It says I might get a cardboard sign, sit on the side of the road and start begging me. Listen. I get it, because yeah, after a while of asking them to do these things, I'm telling you, yeah, it's begging after a while. It's really begging, y'all. Y'all, you already know it's begging. Think about it. Even God gives us free will. And that, let me tell you something. I'm happy you touched that. That was important to me as well. I'm happy you touched that. That, I had to come to terms with that, because I remember that if God gives us free will, who am I to try to control somebody else? Who am I to control somebody else or try to control somebody? And that's when I had to let go for real, for real. Because then I had to remember the only person you could control is yourself. Man, that's one of the fruits of the spirit, y'all. Self-control, self-temperament. Learn how to control yourself. Learn how to control your temper. Self-temperament, self-control. You're the only person who can control yourself. You cannot control other people. And oftentimes you would think, well, so what if he cheats, or what if she cheats? And what if they do? Okay? Then you leave. If that's your non-negotiable, why are you worried about if they're going? Because you're putting yourself now in a prison cell, a mental asylum, a mental prison. You're holding yourself hostage because you stop worrying about you. You stop worrying about your feelings and you start to worry about the other person's feelings because you want to know, what if they leave? What if they cheat? What if they do this? And if they do? And what are you going to do about that? You're going to get mad? You're going to get even? And like, you can't. You cannot put your authority, your power into someone else's hands. Don't. Don't give away who you are. Don't give away your control. Don't give away your power. Don't give away your authority. Don't give away nothing to anybody no more. No more. The only person you can control is yourself. The only person you can control is yourself. Self control, self temperament, yourself. Get to know yourself. You see how important it is? Self control, self temperament, self. You can't control nobody else. But it's necessary for you to get to know people, to see who they are, for them to show you who they are. Let people show you who they are. They won't disappoint you. They'll always show you who they are. Allow them to. Don't press up on them. Don't rush them. Be gentle. Be respectful with them. They will show you. They will expose who they are because their mask is going to slip. They could only put on a show for such a period of time. But the greatest thing, when you start spending time with yourself and you're in alignment with who you are, you know who you are, you know your identity, you know your value, you know your worth, you're confident, you could sit back and you could chill and just allow them to go up and down with their emotional roller coaster self, and you just stay grounded. You're not fazed by anything. But now that you're so grounded, you can make a sound decision. You can make a sound decision for what's more valuable for you, for what's more important to you. You can make that decision, a sound decision. If these are things that are not in alignment with you, it's a hard no. No. This is not what you're interested in? No. And if you did not give someone authority and the okay to call you out your name, don't accept that stuff. It's inappropriate. It's pushing up against your boundaries. If this is not what you're okay with, say so. You're not okay with it, you're not okay with it. It's not all right. And ladies, if y'all think it's okay to put your hands on a man, I don't want to be there if he does swing back at you, because that's disrespectful. You don't do that. Keep your hands to yourself. Because a lot of times ladies want to push up themselves on a man and put their hands on a man and talking into their face and puffing up their chest with them and being disrespectful to them. That's inappropriate. That's disrespectful. You don't do that. Because the reaction, you're not going to like it. Men are physically stronger than women. Women are spiritually stronger than men. Get it. Know the difference. That's why we yap so much with our mouth. We talk a lot because we are spiritually stronger than men, but men are physically stronger than women. Do not get it twisted. So stop doing that. Ladies, stop disrespecting men. Stop bucking up to men and being masculine with men. Stop doing it. It's disrespectful. And guys, pay attention to this because this is a whole red flag. A lady who does not know how to speak to you, a lady who does not know how to respect you, it's not someone that you need to be talking with. A lady who's too available, you do not need to be talking with her. She's too available, she's too accessible. And ladies, remember this for you too. Remember this for you too. You don't need to be so accessible for no man. You do not need to be available for a man 24/7 and constantly be there for this man 24/7. It doesn't work like that. It does not. You have to value yourself and find time for you. Find time to get to know you, have hobbies and interests, and don't just go and cancel your plans to accommodate a man. Do not cancel your plans to accommodate a man. No, no. Make arrangements. Reschedule if you can't make it or like reschedule. No, don't go changing your life and turning yourself upside down now to please a man. No. And especially if he does it last minute. Especially if he does it last minute, because what? Somebody else canceled on you? Or you just thought like this is the respect that you're giving me? No, a man should respect you enough to give you ample time to plan, to give you enough time to make preparations so that you guys can do this where both of you guys make time on your schedule to get this done. Not a last minute pop up. You're not a pop up shop where people just pass by and just grab a piece of you if they want to. That's not who you are. That's not how you operate. It does not work like that. You are more valuable and you need to value yourself and respect yourself more. Take the time that you need. Take the time that you need to learn the things that you need to learn about yourself during your single time. It's not a time for you to run away. It's not a time for you to be ashamed of who you are. It's not a time for you to think that it's the world is ending on me, or it's a crime, or somebody's out to get me because I'm single and the pressure is on me. Don't let nobody pressure you. Don't let no one pressure you that it's time to be with someone and it's time to have children and it's time and it's time. What do they know about your time? Who's in control of your life, you or them? Don't let no one dictate to you how things go. No. This is not a place where you collect donations for suggestion. It's not a suggestion box, how to rule your life, how to control your life, and what goes on and not goes on in your life. It don't work like that. Uh-uh. Get it together, y'all. We got this. We got this. Okay? Take your time. Allow someone to respect you. Allow someone to show you who they are because you respect yourself and you value yourself. So take the time out to get to know you as much as you can. That's how important it is. I know I sound redundant and I sound repetitive and I keep saying it over and over, but that's how important it is, y'all. It's very important and it's necessary. And I'm hearing it too. And I'm repeating it for myself too. It's always good to have refreshers. It's always good to have reminders. And like I say, take notes if you have to, write it down if you have to, come back and watch it at a later time. Let me tell y'all, I have notes written down. And look, my book is closed. Whole notes in my book written down to say, okay, I'm going to do this step by step. But listen, it's here. It's still there. It's there. And I'm just sharing with you guys and just trying my best because I know what it's like when you're going through identity crisis, when you're going through stages of your life and you're trying to figure things out. It does get hard. You do feel alone. You do feel like there's a pressure on you. You do feel ashamed. But no, the time is now to get to know yourself and sit down and think about the things that you would love, the qualities that you would love to see in your significant other, the qualities that you would love to see in that person. And these are the qualities that you will accept, that you will be okay with, and that you'll attract. And when it comes, you will know. You will be able to recognize it because you've already spent time with you. So you know, and it's going to feel different. It's going to sound different. It might not be a look because sometimes we have a type. So when you have a type, they look a certain way, and that's what you go after. But let me know, how has that been working out for you thus far? What has your type done to you thus far? So instead of looking at it as a type, look at it as a character, the characteristics of a person, their traits. their values, their traits, their personality traits. If these personality traits does not align with you, it's a hard no. And it's okay to tell people no. Like you're respecting you. It's okay to tell people no. It's best if you tell them no and let them down now than you wait and stay there later on and things get worse. It's okay to tell somebody no, it's not working. This is not what you're looking for. Tell them no, and it's okay to walk away, going about your business. Going about your business. But do not ignore these warning signs, guys. I know we touched on a lot. I didn't list them out, but I know we touched on a lot of red flags. And ladies, this is for my single moms. Yes, this is my comment for my single moms. Okay. I don't know if single moms are watching it live now or single moms are going to be watching it later on. But this comment that I'm going to make right now is for my single moms that are looking to get back out in the dating field. Hear me out and hear me clearly. Your children needs to be protected at all times. Build a bond, build a relationship with your children that you learn to listen to them. You learn to trust them. You build a relationship with your children during your single time. Get to know them, have a bond with them. Do not push them away, do not exclude them, because whatever you went through, you guys went through this together. Invite your children in to heal with you. Find activities and things to do with your children together. Do not be so quick to introduce your children to a man or woman, single man, you could jump on that part of it, that you just met. Do not be so quick to introduce your children to somebody you barely know. It's not okay. Your children needs to be protected. You hardly know this person. You don't know this person. But you want to introduce your children to them or your kids to them or your child to them? No. Protect them. Their safety is important. It is necessary for you to do what's right for them. So the better you take care of yourself during your healthy season is the better your decision is going to be who you choose to be around your children and when the time is right for you to bring these people around your children or child. It's important. Do not push your children up against a stranger. Protect them. Care for them, provide for them so that they don't too become dependent on anyone else to make them happy. It's important that children understand these things because children already are dependent on their parents to provide for them, to take care of them, and to nurture them and to be there for them. So they know what dependency look like. Even on your taxes, you claim them as dependent because they're dependent on you for survival. Do not pass them on to other people so that they become too dependent on other people and now become a codependence. It's important for you to spend time and get to know your children before passing them on and introducing them to people. Their life is dependent on it, so is yours. So is yours. They're watching. They're paying attention. Narcissists are becoming more smart. They're becoming more smart day in, day out. They're becoming more smart. Guys, listen, your healing journey is priority. You getting better, you getting well, you becoming your greatest self is more important than anything else. Because if you're not good for yourself, then you can't be good for others. You can't be there for anyone else. If you're not good for yourself, then you can't truly be there for other people. So do the best for you. Take care of yourself and continue to heal. Continue to heal that part of you that was broken, that part of you that was silenced. Continue to heal it. That's how we're healing our silence right here. This is the channel for it. Healing your silence right here. We are healing that part that was silenced, that was put to the side to shut up, to be quiet. We are healing that silence. And like I said already, confident is silence. When you're confident, it speaks silent. You don't have to speak. Insecurities is very loud. Insecurities are very loud. Determine what language, the volume, where you want to go, what you want to do for yourself. Pay attention to people. Pay close attention to them, what they're doing and how they operate. And I'm going to leave you guys with a nice scripture, because this should help too, to learn about the warning signs. You could type it in to get the exact scripture. I know the Bible, but a lot of the verses I don't really could tell you, like, Jane, this here and go there or whatever, right? But I'm gonna give you one tonight, to leave you with one tonight. And please rehearse this one, know it inside out, and apply it. Please hear me out. Guys, just take a second to hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Please take a second, hit the like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. And I'm going to wrap up and get out of here, because I know I took you guys time. I'm sorry, but I appreciate you so much. Here goes. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Here goes, guys. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's what I'm leaving you with tonight, guys. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Whatever is in someone's heart, that's what they're going to speak. Whatever is in their heart, that's what's going to come out of their mouth. Whatever thoughts is in their heart is going to come from their mouth. However a person feels about you, the way how they speak to you, the way how they treat you, is how they really feel about you. Out of their hearts is where their words come from. I appreciate you guys too so much. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so sweet. Oh, Bonnie says now the title makes sense. Thank you. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Listen, it all ties in together. And especially if you caught it in the middle, you'll get bits and pieces, but everything does come together. And a lot of times I would give, sometimes, not to say homework, but I'll give you little tips and little information that you can go home and you can actually review them. You can look at them at a later time and to make sense out of it. Sometimes I'll leave questions at the end, or sometimes I'll throw the questions out in the middle. And you take notes, because some of these things you're going to go back in later and you're going to watch it again later. If you watch the replay, or the conversation is going to have a replaying effect in your head. And for the simple reason is that you're starting to see yourself in a different light. You're going to start to recognize a lot of things for yourself, and you're going to start making sense out of the things that you ignored in the beginning. It's now going to come full circle. But remember, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if someone has love in their heart, they're going to speak it. If someone has hate, comes with negativity, comes with darkness. Pay attention, guys. You guys are getting a lot of gems, a lot of little things that are so important. Like little things. They're little, but they're big. You know what I'm saying? They're little, but they're big. The value that it carries, the value is big. And that's the same thing with us, guys. Think about your value. Think about your value. Think about who you are as a person. Oh, I have the wrong thing. You know what? Let me do it on my phone. Hold on a second, peeking. Hold on. Your value is more important. So think about it. You might not see right now that you are valuable and you are worth it, But think about it, guys. That's how important it is. Your value. It might seem small, but it's big. It might seem small, but it's big. Same thing. Might be these little gems and stuff that I'm dropping here tonight. These little gems, but they're so big. They're mirroring you. That's a gem. That's a whole gem because they're mimicking you, right? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's gem. That's juice. Somebody just speaking pure negative. You know what's in their heart. Time waster. Next, move on. A whole time waster. Move them right along. Peek and Tan, do me a favor again. Can you type again? Okay, there you go. Oh, you found it? You found it. Thank you. Listen, I have my book here. Guys, this book, prayers, notes, information in this book right here. Very important. Very, very important. Because it's important that you write down the things that you're going through because they're fresh, they're live, they're in your head now. Write them down. When you go back and you check them later on, it's all going to make sense. Everything will make sense to you later on. When you start putting the pieces and putting things together, it's all going to make sense. You got this. You really do have it. Don't be embarrassed of what you're going through, where you are, how far you are in this journey. Do not be embarrassed. You've come this far. Don't give up now. You've come thus far. Don't quit now. Don't sell out on yourself now. But like I said, I thank you guys. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Listen, Peek and Tan. Thank you, Peek and Tan. Thank you. Tawala says sometimes the smallest gem can be the most valuable. Yes. Deborah, good night. Deborah, how are you? Thank you so much for joining the live with us tonight. We are happy to have you. We are happy you were able to get something out of it. And I'm hoping you at least enjoy the conversation in the chat. Like, I'm really hoping that you see how we all communicate in the chat. We can talk about stuff. It's not a place where you're ashamed about anything. You could feel safe to have these conversations. And I'm really hoping that you felt comfortable enough to hang out with us and to come back a later time. Next Friday, we're live here every Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live. We go live here where we talk about unhealed wounds and we go into stuff and we go into details. Like I said, guys, I'm going to try to get my link and attach it into the description box so that you guys will be able to book a one-on-one session with me, rather. Or if you want to go on to my TikTok, it's the same page, same name, or my YouTube channel right here. This one, I'm going to add the link in there. Or if you want to go over to Instagram, in my link tree, it's the same name. You can go ahead and book a one-on-one session there and we can talk about it. Or if it's easier for you, shoot me an email, healingyoursilence@gmail.com. Or you can shoot me a text or call 516-770-8697. I try to make sure I have different point of contacts for you guys to be able to reach me so we can talk on a one-on-one level if that's what you're looking to do. Carol, I know you are hanging in here, girl. I see you. Yes. Yes, Shelly is doing so much better, guys. Go over her channel, leave a comment there, drop a heart, drop a print emoji or something, whatever you can do to show her support. I really appreciate that information. Thank you guys so, so much. Listen, do not forget to go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This is your girl, Nessa from Healing Your Silence. It's been a blessing hanging out with you guys tonight. Thank you. Thank you again. And remember, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You can learn a lot from a person from what comes out of their mouth. Pay attention. You guys have a lot of tools necessary to help you in this healing journey. You are not alone. You will never be alone. Just hang in there. It takes time. and you will recover. You will get better. Do not give up. Do not quit. You're on the right path and you're doing just fine. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much. Mod, what? Tag me up to mod level. Listen, you guys are just so sweet and amazing. I thank y'all so much. I thank y'all so much. Listen, I thank you guys so much. Listen, y'all don't even understand, y'all. God is a blessing. God is a blessing. Listen, if you guys just continue, He has work for us. He has work for us. He has a lot of work for us, and we're just doing just that. Okay. I pray that wherever you guys are going, you guys go safe. If you're home, I pray that you would rest well, be covered in His blood, be safe, be protected. Continue to love upon people who love you. Continue to care for those who love you. Show love to those who love you. And those who do not respect you and have time for you, don't be afraid to cut them out your life because you need your energy. Unplug them from your battery, from your life battery. Unplug people that are connected to your batteries, that are plugged into you for charging. Unplug them so that you can maintain your fuel and your energy because you're going to need it. You do need it. I love you guys all so much. On your way out, do not forget to hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Be blessed, be encouraged, and I see you guys so soon. I can't wait to see y'all soon next week. Like next week, Friday can't come fast enough. I can't wait for sooner next week, Friday. Next week, Friday cannot come fast enough. Later, y'all. Good night, y'all. Good night. Rest well, guys. Rest well. Be safe. Good night.